How could this happen? Where could a cat possibly run off to? And how did it get out? That's when Butler Lee stepped forward. He spoke to Luo Qingli with a bow. Second Miss has already gone to sleep. She won't wake up again, at least until tomorrow. The family doctor will stay to monitor Luo Linger. Luo Qingli glanced sideways at the floor-to-ceiling window. The rain outside kept tapping against the glass. He looked away and walked toward me. As he passed me, his voice was low and calm. You're staying here tonight too. Linger is already enough of a headache. I don't want to have to worry about you two. With that, he left. I stared at Luo Qingli's back in disbelief. Then I turned to look out the window. The rain outside was pouring. Even my heartbeat seemed to fall out of rhythm with the raindrops. Someone had prepared a guest room for me. I was torn with worry. What should I do now? I promised Linger just now I would definitely help find Meow Meow. What if we don't find her by tomorrow? Will Linger really ignore me from now on? I must find Meow Meow. Half an hour later, I opened the window, stuck out my hand to feel the rain. It seemed a bit lighter. I turned and grabbed the umbrella nearby, then dashed downstairs. I grabbed the umbrella and rushed downstairs. The Imperial Manor is huge. It's divided into many villa sections. Behind the Luo family's castle-like villa lies a vast, towering forest. Deeper in, there are all kinds of vegetation, lakes, even waterfalls. It's 100% wild nature, a rich person's world. Luo Qingli had already ordered the servants to all spread out and search for Meow Meow. I held my umbrella and circled around the villa. In the distance were those footprints. I ran over, looked up and around. This looked like the window to the guest bathroom. My eyes fell to the ground. The traces were almost completely washed away by the rain. There's no way to be sure they're from Meow Meow. Whatever. Let's just search and see. I randomly chose a path and walked up. I called out at the top of my lungs, Meow Meow, where are you? The manor is so big. Where am I even supposed to find a cat? It's like finding a needle in a haystack. Suddenly, for no reason, I strangely understood the troubles of the rich. What's going on? I was so anxious. I didn't even realize I had already wandered through countless paths. Shouting, Meow Meow. Come out already, will you? Just then, a faint meowing sound reached my ears. I perked up my ears and listened carefully. It was Meow Meow. I looked up in surprise. Hurried forward, Meow Meow. Where are you? I tried to follow the sound. And finally, on a slope, I saw Meow Meow trapped beneath a small tree. Found you. I held onto a nearby trunk and carefully approached. Mumbling, Meow Meow. I'm coming to save you now. I slowly sat down on the slope. Didn't even care about the umbrella. I just tossed it aside. Gently and carefully, I freed Meow Meow from underneath the tree branch. Meow Meow seemed terrified, trembling and snuggling tightly into my arms. Mew, a wave of relief surged through me. I lowered my gaze and stroked her wet fur. I wanted to cry and laugh at the same time. There, it's okay now. Where on earth did you run off to? We were all so worried about you. Thank goodness I found you. I looked around quickly and pulled out my phone. I called Luo Qingli right away. I said to Luo Qingli, you might not believe it. I found Meow Meow. Luo Qingli was keeping watch by Luo's bedside, flipping through a file in his hands. He heard the pouring rain from my end of the line, and his beautiful brows suddenly furrowed. Where are you right now? Are you okay? I replied, I'm in the forest. Don't worry, everything's fine. Meow Meow is safe. Although when I found her, Luo Qingli let out a low growl. I'm asking if you're okay. You idiot. I stood up, holding Meow Meow in my arms, and raising my phone with the other hand, I cautiously stepped toward the main path. I hadn't even finished my sentence when my foot suddenly slipped. I let out a scream. My whole body uncontrollably slid downward. No way. Luo Qingli immediately stood up straight. His slender fingers gripped the phone tightly. Hello? Lin Hao Yu? Beep beep. The call was cut off. Luo Qingli quickly called back, but it said the phone was turned off. Luo Qingli's anger skyrocketed. What the hell is that idiot's brain made of? Who allowed him to go into the forest alone? What kind of hero does he think he is? He tossed the folder aside, then strode out, his long legs in motion. As he walked, he quickly searched for the housekeeper's number. Call everyone we've got. Go into the forest and find Lin Haoyu. I'm going to strangle him myself. Meanwhile, the whole world seemed to fall silent. My whole body ached. I tried moving my fingers. Raindrops kept falling on my little face, gradually waking me up bit by bit. Who's there? I struggled to open one eye. What I saw was a giant close-up of Meow Meow. The cat's chubby little paws kept rubbing against my cheeks. She saw I was awake. She let out a very human-like meow. I struggled to sit up. I rubbed Meow Meow's fluffy little head. Thank goodness you're okay. But where is this place? I looked up and found I was in a sandy pit. Just now, I must have rolled down from that slope over there. It seemed like the rain had gotten even heavier while I was unconscious. Nightfall was also approaching. Darkness slowly covered everything. So scary. I need to get out of here fast. Right, where's my phone? I quickly scanned the area and spotted my phone not far away. I crawled toward it, picked it up to look, and surprisingly, the screen wasn't broken, but when I turned it on, it said no signal. What the heck? It was working fine just now. Panic set in. No signal meant I was completely cut off from the outside world. I struggled to my feet, holding Meow Meow close. I carefully tested my body. Thankfully, no sprains, no injuries. Since the phone's no use, I'll have to rely on myself now. I looked around and began climbing upward, but I had barely climbed a fifth of the way when the sand slid right out from under me. I gasped and landed right back where I started. I don't believe this. Let's go again. I gave it my all, climbing more seriously this time. Swish, more sand slid down with a roar. Ooh, tutu. I waved my little hands. I looked like a complete mess. I looked up at the slope in despair. Is anyone there? I'm down here. No reply. And of course, the cursed weather seemed to be mocking me. The rain poured even harder. The rain just kept getting heavier. It was so heavy I could barely keep my eyes open. Damn it, heavens above. Do you have a grudge against me, or what? Meow Meow shivered in my arms. I took off my jacket right away and wrapped her up inside it. I scanned the surroundings once more and walked to a corner where I could at least avoid some of the rain. At this point, all I could do was conserve energy and wait for rescue. Night had completely fallen. Everything around me was pitch black. The forest was so cold at night. I curled up in a corner, holding Meow Meow, both of us trembling from the cold. I spoke to Meow Meow, as if comforting her. But I was really comforting myself. Don't be scared. We'll get out of here. Luo Qingli already knows I'm in the forest. He'll come save us. I had already been missing in the forest for a full 3 hours. Everyone in the Luo household had mobilized. Even law enforcement resources were dispatched. Such a massive search team seemed small against the vast forest. Several helicopters buzzed overhead, circling above the trees, searching. In one of the helicopters, Butler Lee turned and looked over. Miss, don't panic. The rain's gradually letting up. It'll help us with the search and rescue. Luo Qingli's expression was cold as ice, his gaze scanning sharply through the glass. He gritted his teeth. That idiot. He better pray I don't find him. Because if I do, I'm cracking open his skull myself and seeing what's actually inside there. Suchin, who had also joined the search effort, lowered the binoculars in her hands. A slight frown formed on her face. It's been so long. Suchin looked over at Butler Lee. Still no updates from the ground teams? Nothing, Butler Lee said, troubled, shaking his head. Young ladies, you should know, the terrain is extremely complicated. The Imperial Forest is just vast. Luo Qingli angrily slammed the binoculars in his hands. Useless, all of them. Suchin gently comforted. It hasn't been that long since he went missing. Even without food, he'll be fine. We'll find him sooner or later. Don't worry, Luo Qingli snapped. Who says I'm worried about him asterisk? I'm just worried about our cat. Even as he spoke, his body betrayed him. As he picked up the binoculars he had just thrown and resumed scanning below the helicopter, he stiffly ordered the pilot, "Lower the helicopter some more." Yes, Miss Luo. I don't know how much time passed, but I felt like I had gone completely numb from the cold. The rain seemed to have stopped. Everything around me fell into dead silence. Why does my head feel so hot? I shook it dizzily. But even just doing that felt exhausting. What's happening to me? Am I running a fever? It's so cold. My teeth are chattering. My whole body's shaking. I held Meow Meow tighter in my arms. She seemed to have fallen asleep. And I felt my consciousness fading too. No, I have to stay awake. But my eyelids were so heavy. Am I going to die here? I'm still single. I haven't even gotten married yet. I haven't even had a proper relationship. I haven't even had my first kiss. I can't die here. Asterisk where asterisk I thought I heard the sound of a helicopter above. Rotors spinning. Was I hallucinating? I forced my eyes open and looked toward the sky. Not far away, I thought I heard the voice of a rescuer calling out. Someone's coming, but I had no strength left to call back. The will to survive made me force myself upright, and I pulled out my phone from my coat. My trembling fingers turned on the flashlight on my phone. I pointed it toward the sky and waved it around, waving it while silently pleading, "See me? I'm right here. Here. I'm here." Up in the helicopter, Luo Qingli's searchlight briefly swept over my direction, but then sharply pulled away. He gave a quick order, having the helicopter land behind me. 3 o'clock direction. Move fast. The pilot didn't dare question him. The helicopter circled in the air, then slowly turned and descended. To figures young women ran toward the direction where the SOS light had flashed. Meanwhile, I didn't even have the strength to hold the flashlight anymore. My phone slipped from my hand and went dark as it hit the ground. My head was spinning. I couldn't hang on anymore. I really couldn't. My consciousness was slowly slipping away. A white, blinding light was devouring my thoughts, taking over. Then Luo Qingli's sharp voice rang out from the distance, followed by the sound of footsteps running toward me. My fading mind latched onto that voice. It was Luo Qingli. It was like a surge of energy was injected into my body. I don't know where the strength came from, but I shouted with all I had, "Luo Qingli, I'm right here. Luo Qingli." For the first time, he felt utterly flustered and panicked. The surrounding trees, layered like shadows, overwhelmed his senses, completely disorienting him. All his usual composure and calm, his unshakable demeanor, shattered in this very moment. Where is he? Suchin was a bit calmer than Luo Qingli. She faintly heard my voice and pointed to the side. There, Luo Qingli's icy gaze followed her direction, and he rushed forward when he saw me barely conscious at the bottom of the slope. His expression darkened instantly. Directly, recklessly slid down the slope. And at that moment, I completely lost consciousness. Soon, the ground rescue team also arrived. They rescued the 3 people and a cat. Dr. Luo gave me a checkup, other than a fever from being in the rain. Fortunately, there were no other injuries. It was already 10 p.m. by then. Suchin, who had been worried all night, finally felt at ease once I returned. It was getting late. Luo Qingli saw Suchin to the door. Suchin turned around and gently said to me, "Don't scold him anymore when he wakes up." Luo Qingli snorted and said coldly, "In my eyes, what he did was stupid." Suchin gave him a helpless glance. "All right, I'll be going now." Luo Qingli returned to my room again. Looking at my unconscious self, his expression darkened slightly. He pursed his lips and stepped forward. My breathing was very steady. He leaned down, carefully inspecting the scar on my cheek. It seemed strange to him. He reached out and touched it. To his surprise, the scar came off. The scar was fake. In that instant, Luo Qingli's back stiffened. He was completely stunned. Damn. How can someone be this handsome? It's easy to imagine once these eyes open How breathtaking they would be. Luo Qingli's mouth twitched slightly. It was clearly a face. Handsome enough to make everyone swoon. Why would he make himself look like that? The girl's gaze never left me. She couldn't look away. Perhaps the heavens had gifted Luo Qingli too much. He was born with nobility. Any difficulty in his hands could be easily solved. So nothing, no matter what or who, had ever made him want to truly investigate. But he was getting more and more confused by this person. Choke me up for a lifetime. Luo Qingli got up and walked out. He instructed Butler Lee. Go find someone who knows makeup. Miss means a makeup artist? Luo Qingli softly replied with and added, make sure it's a man. Butler Lee was a bit curious. Why would Miss suddenly want a makeup artist? But following his professional instincts, he didn't ask much. He just responded, I'll take care of it right away. In less than half an hour, Butler brought back a fairly well-known makeup artist. Luo Qingli waved his hand and gave the order. The scar on his face, how it was put on. I want it drawn the same way. The makeup artist was dumbfounded. He'd always been asked to make people look better. Never received a request to make someone this handsome look ugly. Luo Qingli shot him a cold glare. What? Hurry up and do it properly. The morning after the rain cleared, Ling, Chun, and Liu Yu were chatting in the classroom. Liu Yu glanced at an empty desk in the back. I heard Lin Haoyu took the day off today. Probably got punished by Miss Luo. Ling Chun pursed her lips in a sneaky smile, feeling absolutely delighted. He's being punished and not coming to school. What does that have to do with Miss Luo? Ling Chun looked around, then leaned close and whispered in his ear. Yesterday, you let Miss Luo's cat run away. Aren't you afraid she come looking for trouble? Keep your voice down. Ling Chun quickly covered his mouth. A trace of darkness flashed in her eyes. I just couldn't stand that stupid pet. Strangling it to death was already being merciful, but I guess it's probably dead by now anyway. Haha, serves it right. Isn't Lin Haoyu now a servant of the Luo family? Second Mrs. Precious Cat is dead. He definitely can't talk his way out of this. I'm just waiting to see that ugly freak's downfall. Meanwhile, Luo family's Butler Lee handed a folder to Luo Qingli. Miss, this is Mr. Lin's complete file from childhood to now. Luo Qingli took it from him, calmly reading through the contents. Rather than calling it a file, it might as well be the tragic story of my blood, sweat, and tears. The more she read, the darker Luo Qingli's expression became. An idiot is truly an idiot. Never knew how to protect himself since childhood, letting his own father and stepmother bully him as they pleased. Ling Corporation. Luo Qingli narrowed her eyes slightly. A trace of danger flickered in her beautiful gaze. Her fingers moved slightly. After a full day of unconsciousness, I slowly opened my eyes. Who am I? Where am I? What am I doing? Wait, I'm not dead. This is the Luo residence. Snapping back to reality, I struggled to sit up. My thoughts slowly returned to my mind. I remembered the heavy rain last night. My face darkened. Crap, my face. Panicked, I rushed to the dressing table. To my surprise, the makeup on my face hadn't smudged. No wonder it's from Annie Yicheng, sent from abroad, top-tier cosmetics. So waterproof. I looked left and right in disbelief at my reflection in the mirror. Then, a mocking, sarcastic voice came from the side. Who gave you the confidence to be so narcissistic? Aren't you afraid you'll crack our mirror? Startled, I turned to look. Luo Qingli was leaning against the doorframe with arms crossed. Her mouth as venomous as ever. Honestly, I was getting used to it. I mentally tuned out her sarcastic jabs. Was it you who saved me? Luo Qingli looked at me like I was an idiot, completely beyond saving. Otherwise, how do you plan to thank me? As he spoke, he slowly moved closer to me. I pouted slightly. I just didn't want Luo to feel sad when she woke up. That's why I went into the forest to look for Meow Meow. Besides, I was the one who found the cat. You haven't even thanked me for that yet. Luo Qingli stared at me intensely with her beautiful eyes. Twisting logic again. Without you, I would have found Meow Meow sooner or later anyway. Without me, have you thought about what would have happened to you? After saying that, he grabbed my chin with his fingers, forcing me to look him in the eyes. I felt a bit embarrassed being stared at. That face is just way too good looking. Why on earth would Luo Kingly strikes such a flirtatious pose. Meow. A sudden sound interrupted us. Luo, who had been secretly watching from the doorway, was fuming in frustration. Meow meow. Why are you ruining the sweet moment between Big Sis and the handsome brother? You dumb cat. I hereby declare we're no longer friends for 1 minute. I quickly turned my head and saw that little Bun had woken up at some point. She was wide awake now. One hand was on the doorknob, the other holding Meow Meow. Luo raised her little hand and made a tight fist gesture. Please, carry on. Just pretend I'm a little kid who doesn't exist. Compared to my awkwardness, Luo Kingly remained completely calm and composed. He straightened up without any rush. He tilted his head slightly at little Bun, Luo Linger. If you're not a kid, what are you? Luo Linger puffed up her cheeks and replied seriously. Luo is 6 years old, not a 3-year-old anymore. Luo Kingly chuckled with a snort. I couldn't help but laugh, looking at the fully recovered Luo. My heart felt so warm. It was hard to connect this cheerful Luo with the frightened girl from last night. The little Bun came running in. Her tiny hands tugged at my shirt, raising her soft, chubby face up at me. Big brother, Grandma Butler told me everything. Thank you for helping me find Meow Meow. I heard you even got a fever. Are you feeling better? I feel so bad for you. I smiled gently and waved my hand. Don't worry. I'm really fine. Luo really likes you. I want to give you my very first kiss I've saved for 6 years. Big brother, quick squat down a little. As little Bun said that, she puckered her lips and leaned toward my face. The next second Luo Kingly kicked her away. Literally kicked her. Luo rubbed her little butt and stood up. Her little face scrunched up in pain. Are you trying to murder your own sister? You big bad villain. I shot Luo Kingly a blaming look, quickly helping Luo up from the floor. I carefully checked her to make sure she was okay. Luo Kingly was still fuming with anger. With a cold face, he asked, Luo Linger, did you finish your workbook from yesterday? Start from page 1, he added flatly. Then he turned to me, and you get back in bed and rest. Want to pass out again? Waiting for me to pay your hospital bills. What a senseless demon. Why so fierce? Let me say one more thing to Big Brother before I go. Luo raised her little hand. Before Luo Kingly could reply, she leaned toward me and whispered in my ear, Big Brother, you saved my life again, and you found Meow Meow for me too. I want to repay you. I looked at her in surprise. Wait a sec. Don't tell me she's gonna say she marry me, or ask me to wait till she grows up or something. To my surprise, little Bun said with a mysterious tone, even though I do want you to wait till I grow up. It sounds like it'll take a really long time. That wouldn't be fair to Big Brother. So I've made up my mind. I'm going to marry you to my sister. From now on, you'll be my brother-in-law. But only after you and my sister get your little red marriage book. Only then can I call you that. Oh my gosh, I choked on my own saliva. Meanwhile, Luo had already run far away. As she passed her big sister, she gave her a look like, I'm really worried about you. Just one glance. That afternoon, Mom was going in for surgery. I just finished my drip that morning. Luo Kingly personally drove me to the hospital. Yes, he personally drove. When I got in the car, Luo Kingly even fastened my seatbelt for me. Oh my god, I was completely flustered. Was it because of my heroic cat-saving feat yesterday? Did Luo Kingly start seeing me in a new light? Or did he suddenly feel guilty toward me? Whatever the case, it was unreal. On the road, my phone kept vibrating. It was the group chat between me, Song Ming, and Yi Cheng. Just as I was about to check it, the screen kept going black on its own. The touchscreen wasn't working well either. What the heck? Could it be from the rain yesterday? Don't tell me it's broken. At that moment, Luo Kingly suddenly turned the steering wheel and calmly pulled the car over to the roadside. I looked around in confusion. This wasn't the hospital. Why did we stop? Luo Kingly pulled out a shiny black card and tossed it to me. He rested his chin on one hand by the window, awkwardly looking outside. Take the card and go buy yourself one. I'm giving you 10 minutes to pick a new model. Whoa, it's really a black card. Haven't touched one in ages. Back when Mom was still healthy, she gave me one too, but it had a spending limit. Maybe about 100,000 yuan. But after I got kicked out of the Lin family, Dad and Yang Hui took everything back from me. Every last thing. I held up the card and asked him, how much can this one overdraw? Luo Kingley glanced at me. At least enough to buy you a phone. That's it. A real big shots card doesn't have a spending limit, right? Luo Kingley shot me a look of disdain. This one doesn't have a limit. If you want, you can literally clear out every phone in the mall. Why do you talk so much? Hurry up and buy it already so we can leave. Such a pity. I looked at the black card one last time with regret. Then I handed it back to him and said, my mom. She always taught me since I was young, never to accept expensive gifts from others. Even though I was a little reluctant, I still gave it back to you. Luo Kingley seemed a bit annoyed. This amount of money is nothing to me. Just take it as a thank you for saving Meow Meow. I shook my head. No, I can't. Refusing is the very least I can do out of manners. My phone can still be used if I get it fixed. Luo Kingley shook his head speechlessly. What kind of idiot is this guy? Anyone else would have jumped with joy by now. Why does he always have to give a moral lecture? Can he just accept things obediently for once? Thinking this, he glared at me hard. Whatever, if you've got the guts, use that ancient relic of a phone, frame it, and hang it on your wall at home, for all I care. Mom's surgery was a great success. The doctor said there's a real chance she might wake up. I was beyond happy. It felt like everything was finally going in the right direction. As for the phone, it's still barely usable, but I've decided to take it in for repair this weekend. At the school convenience store, I carefully picked out some snacks, thinking about what I should prepare for Luo tonight. It's strange. Why does it feel like going back to the Luo house every day has become something so natural for me? After choosing everything, I walked to the counter. Suddenly I remembered I didn't bring any cash today. The cashier pointed and said, you can just scan here. But my phone hadn't been repaired yet, and it was super laggy. I awkwardly tapped for ages before finally pulling up WeChat. People behind me started getting impatient. What on earth is the person in front doing? Can't they hurry up? Exactly, are they doing it on purpose? I quickly turned my head and said, sorry, I'll be done right away. Or you can go ahead first. I froze because Liu Yu and Ling Chung were standing right behind me in the line. Liu Yu exaggeratedly said, oh wow, isn't this the ugly freak from our class? The side chick is rising up, huh? Ling Chung looked at me in disgust. He let Luo Kingley's cat go. Originally he wanted to pin it on me, but I acted like nothing happened. Kingley even brought me to school today. Ling Chung sneered, crossed his arms, looking all high and mighty. Lin Haoyu, how many years have you been using that phone? Still using that wreck? Don't you feel embarrassed? My phone model is from years ago. It's already discontinued now. People around started laughing out loud. I twirled my phone around, then looked up at Ling Chun. None of your damn business. Ling Chun pulled out his own phone and showed it off. Showing off, my daddy just bought me the latest iPhone 101 yesterday. I looked away, not bothering with Ling Chun's smug look. I told the clerk, sorry. I'll just leave the stuff here first. I'll bring cash to school tomorrow and pay. After saying that, I tried to leave. Liu Yu reached out to block me. Hey, trying to run off already. Did we hit a nerve? Lin Haoyu, do you really think our school lets just any stray dog in? Our parents are all big names, with status in society. Someone like you, still using an outdated, old phone and looking like that, totally doesn't deserve to be our classmate. I turned to look at Ling Chun. Oh really? Then why don't you tell your good buddy who my dad is, and whether he's someone important in society or not? Ling Chun looked a little panicked. No one at school knew that he and I are half-brothers. Even fewer knew that my mom was the original wife. His mom was actually the mistress. I raised my eyebrows calmly. Why so quiet all of a sudden? Then let me say it. Ling Chun hurried to stop me. Shut up. But I ignored him, pointed at Ling Chun, and said to everyone, the school heartthrob you're all fawning over is my half-brother. Surprised, huh? His mom is a professional homewrecker. She got in between my parents' marriage back then. She became the main wife and started living the rich life. Ling Chun, what right do you have to call me shameful? Ling Chun turned pale and took a step back. The crowd stirred. Whoa. No way Ling Chun's mom was the mistress. The murmuring grew louder and louder, and Ling Chun's face turned uglier and uglier. Liu Yu was also shocked. She shouted, "You ugly freak. What nonsense are you spouting? How could you and Ling Chun look even remotely alike? Ling Chun is so handsome. How could he possibly be your brother?" "You wish." Ling Chun forced himself to stay calm. With a sorrowful face, he played the victim. "All these years, I never knew I had a half-brother like you. And now you're saying my mom was the mistress." "Lin Hao Yu, stop spreading lies." Seeing him act all fake and innocent, I lost my temper instantly. I pointed at him angrily and shouted, "Ling Chun, don't you know whether your mom was a mistress? Seriously, don't play dumb." Liu Yu mocked me without holding back. "You're not only ugly, but you also love making stuff up and framing others. I bet your mom was the real mistress. That's why she raised someone like you. First thing you do is insult someone else's mom. You've got no manners. You should apologize to Ling Chun." Everyone around started siding with Ling Chun. No one believed what I said. A crazy Ling Chun fangirl stepped forward. She pushed me. "Ugly freak. Are you deaf? Aren't you going to apologize to Ling Chun?" I was completely unprepared. My whole body fell backward. I was about to hit the ground. The next second, someone caught me from behind. A faint scent of fresh grass surrounded me. Startled, I looked back. It was actually Su Qing. When Su Qing appeared, the noisy crowd immediately fell silent. She gently asked if I was okay. I quickly stood up straight and shook my head. "Thank you, Su Qing." Only then did I look toward the crowd. Strangely, even though Su Qing was smiling, I still found her terrifying. Liu Yu, the real bully, spoke up first. "Miss Su, that ugly freak just slandered Ling Chun." Ling Chun immediately cooperated, putting on a pitiful look. But Su Qing ignored them completely. Her gaze locked onto the girl who pushed me earlier. With slightly parted lips, she said, "Apologize." The girl asked, "Miss Su, what did you say?" Su Qing repeated herself. I said, "Apologize to Lin Hao Yu." Her voice was gentle to the extreme, yet carried an air of undeniable authority. The girl tried to explain. "I was just standing up for Ling Chun." Su Qing cut her off. "I don't care about the details. That has nothing to do with me. I'll say it one last time, apologize to Lin Hao Yu." Reluctantly, the girl mumbled, "I'm sorry, Lin Hao Yu. I shouldn't have pushed you." I nodded to show forgiveness. Ling Chun was livid. But with so many people around, he didn't dare act out. He could only clutch his clothes in frustration. Liu Yu was dumbfounded. She asked Su Qing, "Miss Su, why are you standing up for him?" Ling Chun was clearly the one being wronged. Su Qing didn't even respond. She glanced at the items on the counter. Her gentle gaze fell on me. "Are these what you wanted to buy?" I didn't react right away. Just nodded dumbly. "But I forgot to bring cash today. And my phone is broken too." Su Qing paid for my things without hesitation. She picked up the bag and walked over to me. "Let's go, from beginning to end." She didn't even glance at Ling Chun. Ling Chun was so mad his hair was practically standing up. How could things turn out this way? Liu Yu muttered something at my back. It wasn't until we were outside the convenience store that I snapped out of it. I looked at Su Qing. Su classmate," Su Qing corrected me, "just call me Su Qing." I nodded. "Su Qing. Thank you. You're really a good person." Su Qing gave a helpless smile. "Can I refuse your good person card?" I sighed. "But you really are kind. Every time you show up, it's like a summer breeze. Warm but not scorching. Totally different from Luo Qingli. If I had to describe Luo Qingli, I'd say he's a winter wind. The bone-chilling kind. But why am I suddenly thinking about him?" I shook my head, took the shopping bag, and said to Su Qing, "I'll pay you back tomorrow." Su Qing nodded. Her smile was calm and kind. After school, I stood by the roadside waiting for the bus, planning to visit Mom at the hospital. A rare Lamborghini stopped in front of me. To my surprise, Luo Qingli was sitting in it. He calmly nodded. "Yeah." I stepped aside a little. A bit annoyed, I said, "You're blocking the bus stop." Luo Qingli gave me a helpless look. "Get in. I'll drop you off. Free ride, say less." I jumped in happily, beaming as I looked at him. Thanks, Luo Kingley gave me a sidelong glance. Su Qing had told him about what happened in the store this afternoon. Now that I think about it, my mood doesn't seem to have been ruined by those jerks. He retracted his gaze, then said, "Open the storage compartment in front of you." I curiously opened the box in front. Inside were phones surprisingly. The latest iPhone model, same as Ling Chun's. And there were 2 of them. I was shocked. Looking at Luo Kingley in confusion, Luo Kingley had one hand on the steering wheel. His other arm rested against the car window, with his chin leaning on it. "What are you staring at? There for you." I shook my head to refuse. "I already told you. I don't want it. I'll get mine repaired tomorrow." While saying that, I shut the compartment. Luo Kingley kept his eyes on the road ahead. He held out his long hand toward me. "Give me your phone." I glanced at him in confusion. "Why?" But still obediently handed him my broken phone. Who would have thought? Luo Kingley opened the car window without hesitation and threw my phone right out. It hit the ground with a crack, then got crushed into pieces by the car behind. "Ah shit, my phone." I stared at him speechless. He said bossily, "Now there's nothing left to fix. Use the one I gave you." In a blink, the Lamborghini pulled into the hospital. Luo Kingley stopped the car, cold and arrogant as ever. "Pick one and get out." I looked at the compartment and asked curiously, "Why do you buy 2?" Luo Kingley immediately jumped. "I'm not a worm in your stomach." "How should I know? Black or silver, which one do you like?" I felt like my entire concept of money had just been shattered. Didn't know which one I'd like. So that's the reason he bought both? My lips parted. Luo Kingley suddenly turned his head toward me. His voice carried a warning. "Lin Haoyu. Just try rejecting it again. Never seen someone so aggressive while giving a gift." I picked the silver one. "Then I'll take this one." Luo Kingley's face softened a little. "Now get out. I'll have someone get you a new SIM card later." After returning from the hospital, I rushed over to the Luo family house. Every night, I have to prepare the next day's meals for Luo in advance. Luo Kingley wasn't home. Luo Linger was doing math drills. I placed the food I made on the dining table. Smiling, I called out, "Luo, come eat." Luo ran over happily, eating with great joy. I couldn't help asking, "Luo, does your sister go to a lot of business dinners?" She's still a student, yet she already manages the company all on her own. Luo still had rice stuck on her lips, tilted her little head and thought, "Not really." "Don't worry, big bro, even if she meets guys during those dinners, my sister would never be interested in them." My face turned red. Hey, that's not what I meant. I was just saying. Luo got serious. "I mean it. My sister has no male friends. She's absolutely safe and trustworthy." Her tone sounded like a salesman, trying hard to sell her best product. I was speechless, but also touched. Suddenly, a video call popped up on Luo's phone. Her eyes lit up with excitement. She answered it immediately. On the other end of the call came a loving and energetic voice. It was Luo and Luo Kingley's grandma. Luo started chatting away excitedly, then suddenly turned the camera toward me. I was so startled I jumped. On the screen was an elderly woman with white hair. She wore elegant clothes, had kind eyes and a gentle face, and was smiling warmly. I braced myself and said, "Hello, Grandma." Grandma Luo smiled brightly and said, "Hello, future grandson-in-law. Nice to meet you. I'm Luo Kingley's grandmother. I'm your future grandma too." I quickly waved my hands in denial. Grandma Luo cut me off. "Our Kingley. I'll leave her in your hands. If that girl bullies you in the future, just tell Grandma. I'll back you up." I was about to cry. What a huge misunderstanding. From the phone came the sound of someone knocking. Grandma Luo looked up. She said to the camera, "Granddaughter Zhuer, Grandma has something to do right now. I'll talk to you later." The video call ended. I stood there dumbfounded. How did I end up becoming Grandma Luo's grandson-in-law? At 9 p.m., Luo went to bed right on time. I spent a long time busying around in the kitchen. I had just finished carrying out a bowl of soup when I looked up and saw Luo Kingley. I was startled. Luo Kingley said blankly, "Do I look that scary?" I placed the soup on the table. You walk so quietly. That was a normal reaction, okay? Because at the dinner event, Luo Kingley glanced at the bowl of soup on the table. What's that? I cleared my throat. A bit embarrassed, I nudged it forward. It's soup good for your stomach. You probably had to drink at dinner, right? Drinking too much is bad for your stomach. Luo Kingley looked at me instead. You already knew. Why make this? I said awkwardly. I had nothing better to do. Just made it for fun. If you want, you can try it. Luo Kingley suddenly chuckled softly, a beautiful smile lifting the corners of his lips. I was stunned. Luo Kingley actually smiled. So he's not just a cold, emotionless face. He actually looks really good when he smiles. Luo Kingley stepped forward, pulled out a chair, and sat down, then looked at me standing there to the side. Sit down. I blinked. Why? He returned to his expressionless look, watching me drink the soup. I pulled out the chair across from me, watching Luo Kingley elegantly drink the soup I made. I don't know why, but my heart felt warm. I watched Luo Kingley take sip after sip, slowly and calmly drinking. I asked how it tasted. He didn't even lift his eyelids. So. I reached out to take the bowl back. Then don't drink it. I'll pour it out. No need to force yourself. Luo Kingley suddenly looked up at Lin Haoyu. What kind of soup is this? I thought for a moment, hesitated a little. I'm not really sure, but my mom taught me. Back then, when my dad came home from social events, my mom would occasionally make this soup for him. Luo Kingley smiled again. From now on, you can only make this soup for me. I paused and asked in confusion. Why? He said cheekily, a soup this average. Don't go poisoning others with it. I gave him a speechless glare. Luo Kingley. What do you mean? Luo Kingley calmly put down the spoon, picked up a napkin, and wiped his thin lips. Exactly what I said. You already don't think well. And now your hearing's going to. Unwilling to back down, I said. You're the one who doesn't think well. We bickered for a while. Time flew by. Strangely, before Luo Kingley came home, time felt endless. But once he was home, how did it suddenly become 9:30 in the blink of an eye? The next afternoon, I arrived early at the drama club. I sat in the audience seats below the stage, staring at the stage directly ahead. The club lighting was very dim. The spotlights illuminated the center of the stage. It gave off a sacred feeling, and at that moment, voices filled with laughter approached. President Shen isn't coming again today. Such a shame. Well, there's nothing we can do. Our president is a big star. She can only come to school a limited number of times each month. The person speaking wore glasses, tall and lean. He's the vice president of the drama club. His name is Li Qian. When Shen Wanning isn't around, Li Qian is basically in charge of everything in the club. There's a saying in the club. If you cozy up to the vice president, you're not far from landing a good role. Following him were Ling Chun and my former elementary school class monitor, Song Zuer. Ling Chun cozied up to Li Qian and said, Vice President, I heard that this summer, President Shen is going to lead our drama club on a national tour of major cities. So are the scripts and lead roles finalized? Ling Chun's flattery was very pleasing to Li Qian. Li Qian said smugly, well, nothing's set in stone yet, but we're leaning toward either A Midsummer Night's Dream or Romeo and Juliet *. Choosing between the two, the surrounding crowd suddenly got excited. They chattered enthusiastically. Li Qian clapped to get control of the room. Is everyone here? I'll start handing out today's lines. After a while, everyone went up to perform one by one, so he could gauge our skills first. I quickly got up and walked closer. The lines were handed out one by one. When it was my turn, it suddenly stopped. Li Qian immediately recognized me. It's you? I reached out my fair little hand. Vice President, my script, please. Li Qian already didn't have a good impression of me. Now he used this as an excuse to go off. With a disdainful look, with a face like yours. You really think you deserve to be on stage? Take this mop and go clean up the club instead. Ling Chun snickered with glee. Song Zuer also had a gloating expression. I felt a bit humiliated. My hand froze awkwardly midair. Why? Everyone else gets to rehearse, but I have to clean. This is just plain insulting. Li Qian showed no mercy. His sarcasm got more and more obvious. You seriously don't know why? Have you even looked at what kind of monster you look like? Tell me, what kind of role can you possibly play? What role is even suitable for an ugly freak like you? I suddenly lost my temper. So what if I'm ugly? Who said ugly people can't be actors? Besides, I'm not even ugly. If it weren't for the contract, I'd take off my makeup right now and blind these people. As the saying goes, when the tiger is away, the monkey becomes king. Lee Keon rolled up her sleeves and glared at me. Are you the president or am I? Who are you talking to? In my club, only good-looking people can be actors. Even if someone unattractive gets in by luck, they're only fit for chores, and you're one of them. Got it. Ling Chun laughed smugly. She raised her eyebrows at me. Why are you still standing there? The president said to clean up. Hurry up. Ugly freak. My temples were throbbing. Lee Keon clapped again to regain control. Ignore him, everyone. Half an hour later, we'll perform on stage one by one. After speaking, she turned to look at me. I kept cleaning until the club activity ended. I collapsed into the chair. Ling Chun and Song Zhu looked at me from afar, laughing together like crazy. Ling Chun looked at Lin Haoyu smugly. It feels great to mess with him. Song Zhu stared at me with a predatory look, as if she couldn't believe someone once so handsome had become this ugly. She stood up and walked toward me. Lin Haoyu, I'm going to eat hot pot with my boyfriend later. Aren't you jealous? I gave her a speechless look. Sis, who gave you that confidence? Song Zhu, full of herself, kept chattering on. Don't think I don't know why you work so hard to get into the drama club. It's just to get close to me, right? Let me make it clear. I have zero interest in someone as ugly as you. So stop wasting your time. I looked at her with disgust. Song Zhu, you're disgusting. Then I turned and walked away. Song Zhu's pride was crushed. Furiously embarrassed. Who are you calling disgusting? I think you're the most disgusting one, no matter how much he barked like a mad dog. I didn't even bother with him. Song Zhu angrily shouted, just you wait. Saturday afternoon, I arrived at Times Square. I walked toward a certain ice cream counter. At a small round table sat a woman in her 20s, dressed in a suit. I tiptoed up behind her, suddenly patted her on the shoulder. Wenruji. The woman was startled. She quickly turned her head. You brat. Trying to scare me to death? This woman is Bai Shiru. She used to be the manager of my group, Summer Light Years. She's 20 for this year. Very kind. After Summer Light Years disbanded, she had a big argument with the agency over me being frozen out. Later, she resigned on her own. Now she runs her own entertainment company. Her career is thriving. I pulled out the chair opposite her and sat down. Why did you suddenly think of looking for me? I was shocked when I got your message earlier. Bai Shiru looked at me with mixed feelings. Now with that ugly look of yours. I can't. Looking at you burns my eyes. You heartless little brat. If I don't contact you, you just forget about your older sister here. Right. I waved my hand. No way. You know my current identity is special. And you're a big boss now. How hard it is for me to see you. Bai Shiru gave me a side glance. Stop the nonsense. How much time is left on the contract? When can you go back to your true self? I smiled. It's soon, very soon. Then I suddenly remembered. I'd already been working as a servant in the Luo family for over a month, and Luolo's leg injury had already healed. Which means, I don't actually need to keep doing this anymore. Reporting to the Luo family's villa. I should be happy about this, right? But why is it that when I realized this, I didn't feel happy at all? Bai Shiru adjusted her glasses. Happy? How long? I need a specific time to calculate. About 50 days, I think. I looked at her in confusion. What's wrong? Bai Shiru glared at me. You're asking me what's wrong? Let me tell you. Lincoln just landed a major role in a big drama recently. It's a really great show. He's the male lead. I figure he's going to blow up very soon. Bai Shiru tapped the table. Now look at you. Still acting like life's one big dream. Aren't you going to plan for your future? Bai Shiru has always had a sharp eye for people. She's the one who made Summer Light Years famous in the first place. I helplessly waved my hand. I also want to get ahead of Lincoln. But look at me now, I just can't do anything about it. Baishiru pressed her temples in frustration. Forget it. I'll just tell you directly. In 50 days, not only will you get your original appearance back, but you'll also be free. So, want to sign with my company? I dragged out my voice. So that's why you asked me out your poaching talent. You brat, Baishiru smacked me on the head. Our company may have just started, and the scale is still small. Our resources are a bit awkward too, but you know how I treated you before. I never mistreat you. Let's make our comeback to the entertainment world. I smiled and nodded. Sure, I'm in. I'll listen to you. When Ruji is really the nicest person, I feel at ease following her. Only thing is, she didn't start a record label, but a film and television company. Are you interested in that field? I slapped the table. Of course, you already know about my special skills. Actually, more than being a singer and releasing albums. What I really like is acting. My special skill is, of course, my incredible memory. I almost never forget anything I read. Baishiru nodded in satisfaction. Good. This kid wasn't crushed by what happened 5 years ago. I'll have someone draft the contract once I get back. Let's stay in touch in the meantime. After saying that, she looked at me dotingly. All right, let's go. I asked curiously. Go where? Baishiru smiled. To help me pick out a gift. There's someone really important to me. Soon, it'll be our 6-year anniversary since we met. Come with me to pick something out. I nodded. Sure. When are you going to show me who this mystery person is? Baishiru smiled politely. Next time. If there's a chance. Meanwhile, Lincoln was walking around the mall. Suddenly, he caught sight of a familiar figure. Wait a sec. Isn't that Lin Haoyu? That idiot. But who's that standing next to him? It was an unfamiliar woman. He had never seen her before. Lincoln snapped out of it instantly. The corners of his mouth lifted. He immediately took out his phone and quickly snapped a few photos of me and Baishiru from behind. Then he opened his contact list and tapped on the number he worked so hard to find. Luo Qingli's number. He sent the photos. Lincoln was in high spirits. He turned around and left humming a tune. After browsing a few more counters, Baishiru finally made a decision. Her final choice was a very refined tie. Holding the now gift-wrapped tie, Baishiru asked, Do you really think this tie looks good? I nodded vigorously. It looks great. Or do you want to take another look? Baishiru raised her hand and tapped my head. Trust your own taste. Sister Shiru went to pay the bill. I touched the money I had earned from my recent part-time jobs. To be honest, working as a servant at the Luo house during this time, even though I was often verbally attacked by Luo Qingli, he actually took care of me a lot. So, I wanted to give Luo Qingli something in return. But what should I give someone like Luo Qingli? He doesn't seem to lack anything. As we passed a jewelry store, I suddenly tugged on Baishiru's sleeve. Sister Shiru, I want to browse the store. I stammered, feeling a little embarrassed. I want to pick out a necklace for someone. Baishiru froze for a moment, then asked with a gossip-loving look, Who's the necklace for? Just someone who kind of counts as a friend, I guess. The more I spoke, the more nervous I got. I even started to stutter. Because he's taken care of me a lot recently. So, I want to give him something. Baishiru smiled. Got it. Gift in return for kindness, right? I'll help you pick it out. We entered the jewelry store and started browsing seriously. I picked one up and even held it up against Baishiru to compare. Then suddenly, a familiar voice rang out behind me. Lin Haoyu, I never realized you were this kind of person. I turned around, stunned. Luo Qingli, what are you doing here? What do you mean I'm this kind of person? The next moment, from the disdainful look in Luo Qingli's eyes, I understood something. I knew he had definitely misunderstood. I was just about to explain, but Luo Qingli didn't give me the chance. Lin Haoyu, if I care about you even a little, my surname isn't Luo. With that, Luo Qingli turned and left, full of anger. He really just walked away like that. I stood frozen, staring at Luo Qingli's back as he walked away. My heart felt bitter and heavy. Baishiru stood beside me, a little awkward. Who was that just now? He looked kind of familiar, but I can't remember who it is. I also felt frustrated inside. He's just a sharp-tongued, expressionless princess, with the temper of a spoiled rich lady and absolute she-devil. Meanwhile, Luo Qingli had just stepped out of the store. But his steps suddenly paused. He froze for 2 seconds, then turned sharply, then stormed back. Without a word, he grabbed my hand and pulled me outside. I was too stunned to react at first. Shocked, he came back. Forget it, I'd better explain things to him. He took me to the underground parking lot, and I got in the car with him. Then Luo Qingli suddenly slammed the gas pedal. Vroom. The sports car instantly accelerated. My body leaned backward uncontrollably from the speed. I turned to look at the witch beside me. Hey, aren't you driving a little too fast? Luo Qingli kept a cold face, staring straight ahead without a glance at me. His voice was icy cold. My name is Weima. Just now you were calling that woman's sister Wenru. You said it so sweetly, but when it comes to me, it's just Wei now. Damn men. Luo Qingli, slow down, will you? I was really helpless. I took a few deep breaths, looked at him seriously, and explained, you misunderstood just now. Sister Wenru and I, it's not what you think. She's just an older sister figure who's looked after me. And Luo Qingli cut me off. If you dare say one more good word about her, just try it. I was speechless. That counts as a compliment. And seriously, isn't he being a bit too controlling? Even telling me who I can and can't speak kindly of. I hadn't even noticed when Luo Qingli's car had already left the city. We were speeding along a highway in the suburbs. I continued explaining, it's not like you think. You didn't see what you think you saw. The sports car suddenly stopped. Luo Qingli turned his head. He looked at me coldly. So that's why you're buying a necklace for him? No, the necklace. Sister Shiru was just helping me choose it. It wasn't for him. And that tie before I could even explain. Luo Qingli's icy eyes fell on the gift bag I had been holding the whole time. His gaze instantly turned even colder. The more he looked, the more annoyed he got. Fine. He simply snatched the gift bag right out of my hands, opened the car window, and threw it out without hesitation. What the hell are you doing? That gift bag was Sister Wenru's. When Bai Shiru was picking out the necklace, I helped carry the bag. I just forgot to return it to her, and now he just threw it out. That bag contained a gift Sister Shiru was planning to give someone, and Luo Qingli just threw it away like that. Luo Qingli sneered, curling his lips. What? You heartbroken over it now? He mocked. No matter what was inside, I'll pay double for it. He still had that arrogant look. That classic capitalist attitude. I shot him a glare. Without saying a word, I opened the car door, wanting to get out. But the next second, Luo Qingli locked the doors right away and restarted the engine. Lin Haoyu, you better drop the idea of going back to pick that up. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. You think you're something just because you're rich. I want to get out. Luo Qingli shot me a cold side glance. I'm warning you, stop slandering me. Then he started pressing on the gas again. But in the very next second, I rolled down the car window. And just as the car began to move, I jumped straight out the window. This crazy man, does he have a death wish? Luo Qingli slammed on the brakes. He turned his head to look. I had just jumped out like that. I accidentally twisted my ankle. But luckily, it wasn't serious. I ran back and picked up the gift bag from the ground. Thankfully, it wasn't broken. Otherwise, I'd really have no face to see Sister Shiru again. The Lamborghini came to a sudden halt. He didn't even bother to close the car door. Luo Qingli ran toward me. He checked me over carefully, then suddenly raised his voice, glaring at me angrily. Lin Haoyu, are you an idiot? What's in that head of yours? Do you realize if my car had gone a bit faster, you'd be dead? I was honestly fed up with his spoiled brat attitude. I didn't even want to explain anymore. Luo Qingli, I'm no longer your family's servant. Luolo's leg is already healed. I have nothing to do with the Luo family anymore. So please, stay away from me. Seeing me gripping the gift bag tightly, Luo Qingli swore to himself. In all his life, he had never felt as emotionally out of control as he did in this moment. Ever since he was young, everything he wanted had always been under his control. He could get anything effortlessly. But this person in front of him just kept going against him, refusing to be controlled. Even his own heart now was out of control. Luo Qingli's stunningly handsome face was icy cold, his voice even colder, sharp and absolute. No ties? Who gave you permission to say you're no longer with the Luo family? Which doctor told you? Luo Linger's leg is fully healed. If I haven't said so, you will always be the Luo family's servant. You have no choice. I'm so furious, seriously, so furious. I really wanted to stomp this arrogant, controlling young master right under my foot and rub it hard. Right now we're facing off on a deserted asphalt road in the suburbs. There's absolutely no one around. Even cars are few and far between. The surrounding view is wide open. The sky is blue. My mood is terrible. I turned away, not wanting to look at Luo Qingli anymore. From the gift box, I took out the half-finished bottle of mineral water. I twisted the cap and took a few sips, trying to calm my mood by drinking water. Luo Qingli stared intently at me as I tilted my head to drink. Suddenly, he reached out and snatched the bottle from me. He brought his red lips straight to the bottle and drank too. I stared at Luo Qingli in shock, completely frozen in place. Especially when I saw Luo Qingli's infuriating yet sexy lips touch the same bottle mouth I had just drunk from. My brain buzzed, totally blank. What the hell, Luo Qingli? That was my water. What's wrong with you? Seriously, did you ask for my permission before just grabbing it to drink? Isn't this basically the same as kissing? Seeing my stunned expression, Luo Qingli's lips curled into a mocking smile. Who told you that counts as kissing? Are you a kindergarten student? Do you have even the most basic common sense? I wanted to speak, but Luo Qingli suddenly stepped forward and cupped my face and kissed me quickly. Our lips pressed tightly together. A strong current instantly surged through me. That current went straight to my head. I was dumbfounded. My brain stopped functioning instantly. At first, Luo Qingli just meant for it to be a brief kiss, but he couldn't stop himself. A simple touch of lips wasn't enough to satisfy his growing desire for more. I felt like my body was floating. I had never felt this way before. My mind was completely blank. After letting me go, Luo Qingli curled his lips slightly. His voice was so gentle, it was ridiculous, idiot. This is what a real kiss is. At such a close distance, the girl's breath as she spoke fell all over my face. My face turned red all the way to my ears. That was my first kiss. I was still in shock. But then Luo Qingli spoke lightly again. It was my first time too. So now we're even. I honestly couldn't figure him out. Being entangled with this witch was truly terrifying. I grabbed the gift bag and turned to leave. I didn't know where I was going. I just instinctively wanted to get away. Behind me came that devilish voice again. Idiot. I'll kindly remind you. We're in the suburbs. Without him, I really wouldn't be able to get back even by nightfall. My steps faltered. Luo Qingli crossed his arms, looking incomparably proud. If your attitude improves a little, I might consider taking you back. I glanced back at him speechlessly. Miss Luo, please stay away from me, okay? I don't want to see you. Luo Qingli's stunning expression turned a bit colder. Lin Haoyu, you brought this on yourself. With that, he turned around. We both walked in opposite directions, back to the car. Luo Qingli didn't start the engine right away. His beautiful eyes flickered slightly and unconsciously landed on the rearview mirror. My figure in the mirror was getting farther and farther away. Luo Qingli's heart tightened little by little along with it. This place was at least 30 kilometers from the city center. Without him? Was he really planning to walk all the way back? Was that guy an idiot? Luo Qingli pulled out his phone and dialed a number, not sure who it was. He spoke through gritted teeth, giving an order. You have 15 minutes. Send a car immediately to pick someone up on National Highway 3XX. Honestly, I didn't sleep well at all last night. My mind was full of that kiss. I couldn't shake it off. Just thinking about that kiss made my heart beat uncontrollably fast. A gentle voice rang in my ears. Good morning. Lin Haoyu. I looked up. It was Su Qing. I weakly nodded my head. Su Qing looked at me worriedly. What's wrong? You look tired. Did you play too hard yesterday? Or is your body still not fully recovered? Neither. I shook my head and let out a light sigh. I guess I'm just mentally exhausted. All thanks to Luo Qingli tormenting me. He randomly lost his temper yesterday. Took me out to the suburbs, and if that wasn't enough, he even stole my first kiss. If I hadn't run into a kind police officer, I might have been walking until nightfall to get home. But come to think of it, why was there a police officer driving by at just the right moment, and he even stopped to ask if I needed help? That officer was really nice. Su Qing asked again, did something happen? I smiled, waved my hand, and said, I'm fine now. Don't worry. Just as I finished, a familiar voice came from not far away. Crap, it's Luo Qingli again. My smile vanished in an instant. I said goodbye to Su Qing. I'm heading back to class. Talk later. I ran off right away. Su Qing blinked in confusion. Luo Qingli walked up beside her, his gaze following my panicked retreating figure. His red lips curved into a cold smirk. That idiot is avoiding me. At lunchtime in the school cafeteria, I was sitting alone by the window, quietly eating. A boy holding a tray with a flattering smile sat down across from me. Lin Haoyu. I looked up and saw he was from the class next door. I didn't know his name, but we'd run into each other a few times. Can I sit across from you? Without waiting for my answer, he just sat down on his own. I heard Lin Shun and Yu from your class were both transferred to the regular class. They used to bully you all the time. I've disliked them for a long time. I took a bite of potato. Really, HM? The boy nodded eagerly. Then he finally got to the point. Lin Haoyu, could I ask you for a favor? What is it? I looked up at him. The boy shyly handed me an envelope he was holding. I know you seem to be on good terms with Luo Xiaohua. Can you give this letter to her for me? I froze slightly. Could this be a love letter? The boy looked at me pleadingly. You'll help me, right? I immediately shook my head. I'm afraid I can't. It's not that I don't want to help. It's just that I already tried to avoid that crazy woman myself. Why would I actively go near her? Seeing my refusal, the boy from the next class got visibly angry. His smiling face suddenly turned cold. Why not? It's just a tiny favor for you. What's the big deal if you help me? Why are you being so stingy? I forced myself to stay calm and explained. I'm not being stingy. It's just really inconvenient. Sorry. The boy rolled his eyes at me. What's so inconvenient? I think you just don't want to help me on purpose. Are you afraid that after Luo Xiaohua reads my love letter, she fall for me? So, you don't want to help. I didn't even want to argue anymore. I picked up my tray and politely said, think whatever you want. Sorry, I'm done eating. Excuse me. With that, I turned and walked away. But just as I was about to leave the cafeteria, I happened to run into Su Qing and Luo Qingli. The two school beauties rarely came to the cafeteria. The sun must be rising from the west today. The boys around were all beyond excited. Su Qing spotted me immediately and smiled as she waved. Lin Haoyu. Luo Qingli was as arrogant as ever, her cold gaze just about to fall on me. I shrank my neck, like a thief getting caught, pretending not to hear anything. I turned and ran in the opposite direction. Su Qing cleared her throat. She turned to Luo Qingli. Did you two have a fight? Luo Qingli sneered. What's there to fight about with an idiot? Arguing with him would only lower my IQ. Then why do I feel like he's acting weird today? Luo Qingli's face remained expressionless, but her tone grew increasingly annoyed. Who cares about him? Who does he think he is? Daring to throw a tantrum at me. He doesn't actually think ignoring me like this will make me come running to coax him, right? I'm Luo Qingli. I only associate with people I get along with. Others are dying to please me. When have I ever had to coax anyone? Never before, and never will. After school, for the first time in over a month, I didn't go to the Luo family villa in the afternoon. Just not showing up like this might be a bit bad. What if Luo's waiting for me? But then I remembered how crazy Luo Qingli can be. I slung my bag over my shoulder and stepped onto the bus home without hesitation. While waiting for the bus, I got a call from Baishiru. Lin Hao you? You okay? I'm fine now. Didn't I already call you yesterday to explain everything? What about you? She asked gently. The gift you bought for that important person, it's still with me. I'll find a time to drop it off for you. Or you can come get it. No rush. Just hang on to it for now. Baishiru pushed up her gold-rimmed glasses. I really didn't expect that you and Miss Luo had that kind of relationship. Stop right there. There's nothing going on between us. I pouted slightly. Do you want me to contact Miss Luo and explain? What happened yesterday? That necklace was for her, right? Looks like she misunderstood. I quickly refused. No, you absolutely can't explain anything to her. And you must not tell her that I bought that necklace. Baishiru looked confused. Why? She asked. I just don't want her to know right now. Baishiru sighed. I really don't get you young people. Anyway, I won't say more. The bus is here. You can come get the gift from me anytime. At the Luo family home, Luo Qingli walked in with a lofty air. He glanced around but didn't see me. He tossed his car keys onto the coffee table. He looked clearly annoyed. The furniture in the villa's living room was still neatly in place as usual. The servants were busy in the kitchen. But why did it feel like something was off? Like something was missing. Luo came hopping over, like a little bunny. Her bright eyes looked up at Luo Qingli. Sister. Why didn't Big Brother come today? Luo Qingli glanced at the little bun. Your leg's already healed. What reason does he have to come? Now that Luo's leg is better, Big Brother won't come anymore. Luo panicked. She quickly pretended her leg hurt a lot. Luo's leg suddenly hurt so much. It must be a relapse. Luo Qingli's handsome face was filled with disdain. Luolinger, could your acting be any worse? Luo rolled around on the sofa. I don't care. I want Big Brother to come back. She tugged at his arm dramatically. Luo Qingli raised an eyebrow. His voice turned a bit seductive. You really want him to come back that badly? Luo nodded furiously. I do. Luo Qingli turned to look at Butler Li. He gave an order. Go get some bandages. Butler Li looked confused, but still answered stiffly, Yes, sir. 10 minutes later, Luolinger stared pitifully at her. Chubby leg wrapped tightly in bandages. Sis, do we really have to do this? Luo doesn't feel comfortable at all. Whimpering Luo Qingli tied a perfect knot and sat up looking very pleased. What do you know? If we don't do this, he won't come back. Besides, kids need to go through more hardships. That's how they grow up to be successful. Looking at Luo Qingli's expression, Luo suddenly clapped her hands. I get it. Sis, you miss Big Brother too, right? You want him to come back, don't you? Luo Qingli's back stiffened. Without changing her expression, she replied, You're overthinking. As your sister, I'm just doing this for your sake. Luo patted Luo Qingli's shoulder. Aya, you don't have to pretend in front of me. As your little sister, I've known you for 6 years already. Luo really understands her sister well. Luo Qingli gave her a side glance and said flatly, Are you complaining that you haven't had enough homework lately? Luo immediately shook her head. Aha, Luo seems to have memory loss. Sis, what did I just say? Luo doesn't remember anything. Luo Qingli picked up a magazine nearby and casually flipped through it. Don't you have that person's phone number? You don't need me to teach you what to do next, right? Luo made a serious face and gave an okay sign. Got it. At that moment, I was sitting by the bus window, carefully planning out what I'd do next. First, make something to eat at home, then get to the hospital before 7 to bring it to Mom. Just then, my phone rang. I picked it up and saw it was Song Ming. I answered the call. Lin Hao you. I finally got everything settled here. I should be able to join up with you next week. Really? That's awesome. So, did you move directly into your stepfather's house? Song Ming's mother got divorced a few years ago. She lived alone with Song Ming. And I heard Song Ming's new father's surname is Qi. He's also a well-known figure. I think my mom told me. Uncle Qi has another child at home. Older than me. A girl. I hope we can get along well. Enough about me. How have you been lately? I shook my head. Not so great. Song Ming, I want to go out and find a part-time job. make some extra money. So I chatted with Song Min all the way. Meanwhile, Luo Liner sat properly on the sofa, holding her phone with big blinking eyes. Sister, brother is on the phone with someone. It's been busy all this time. Luo can't get through. Luo Kingly paused while flipping through a magazine. The woman from yesterday appeared in her mind. The one who picked out a necklace with me. Luo Liner touched her smooth little chin, looking very worried. This is really abnormal. Who is brother talking to on the phone? And for so long? Luo Kingly's face grew darker and darker. She clenched the magazine tightly with her fingers. Luo Liner got stuck in her own reasoning loop. Aren't you worried? What if brother is tempted away by another girl? Luo Kingly glared coldly at Luo Liner. If you stay quiet, no one will think you're mute. Such scary killing intent. Luo Liner quickly covered her mouth. No more talking. I chatted with Song Min the whole way. Looked up and glanced out the window. Quickly stood up. Talk later, okay? I've arrived. We'll talk in the WeChat group later. The bus rumbled forward, spewing exhaust. I casually slung my bag over my shoulder. My gaze landed on a distant alley. This place is far from the city center. Narrow alleys crisscross the area. Many low-rise houses are crowded together. The walls are worn and shabby, commonly known as the slums. When Yang Hui kicked us out of the Lin family 5 years ago, Mom and I moved here. And we've been living here for 5 years. Although transportation is a bit inconvenient, at least the rent is cheap. I scanned a shared bike by the roadside and rode it home. Turn left at the third alley and go to the end. That's where I live now. I was humming a little tune as I passed the first alley. Suddenly, a white Audi rushed out from the side. I gasped and tried to turn away quickly, but it was already too late. The shared bike crashed to the ground, its wheels still spinning. I groaned and got up from the ground. Luckily, Shenji was wearing long sleeves today. If it had been short sleeves, I would have definitely scraped my skin. Rubbing my arm, I raised my eyes in anger. How do you even drive? Taking a corner that fast? Didn't even honk your horn. The driver's door of the Audi A4 opened. A chubby man in a black suit stepped out of the car. As soon as he got out, the fat man checked his car first, then glared at me angrily. How do you ride a bike? Are you blind? Hearing that, my anger flared up instantly. Are you serious right now? You're the one who hit me with your car. The man looked like he had no intention of reasoning. He cursed it outright. Bullshit. It was clearly you who wasn't watching and crashed into my car. Are you some kind of scammer? Look, your bike scratched my car. Pay for the damages. Why should I pay you? Don't tell me you're driving without a license. Do you even know traffic rules? The fat man was furious. You arrogant brat who doesn't know your place. Do you believe I can make one call and have you thrown into detention? Unbelievable. I was speechless. Whatever. You can never win an argument with someone unreasonable. Let's just call it bad luck today. I turned and picked the bike up off the ground. Just then, the front passenger door opened. A boy's clear voice rang out, Dad. What's going on? Isn't this the guy who asked me to give Luo Kingy a love letter, which I refused to deliver? The guy from the class next door. He clearly recognized me too. He was stunned for a moment, then smirked knowingly. Well, isn't it Lin Haoyu? My expression darkened a little. The fat man looked at his son, Shuji. You know him. Li Shuji snorted. Of course I know him. We go to the same school. He's in the class next to mine. Li Shuji was still bitter about what happened at lunch today. He took the opportunity to stir things up. Hey, you crashed into my dad's car. Don't think you can get away with it this time. Pay up now. The fat man inspected the scratch on his car closely. Such arrogance. Unbelievable. Today one of my workers had an accident, so I had no choice but to drive to this dump. Look at this place, and now this happens as soon as I get here. Just my luck. Pay me 20,000 yuan and we'll call it even. I pushed the bike along, looking at the tiny scratch on the Audi. 20,000. Why don't you go rob a bank? You really think I don't know anything? I used to be a rich young master too, okay? This fat guy's car cost a few $100,000 at most. And for one little scratch, he dares ask for $20,000. He thinks I'm an idiot. Lin Haoyu, have you even seen real money? My dad drives an Audi, you know. Li Shuji said arrogantly. 20,000 is a bargain for you. Either you pay up, or my dad makes a call. And you'll be in serious trouble. I laughed. Who do you think you are? You think you can name any price you want? This is a society governed by law, not some place ruled by gangsters. After saying that, I took out my phone. There's no point arguing. I'll just call the police right now. 110. 10 minutes later, 2 officers from the nearby station arrived on the scene. The fat man pulled the officers aside and whispered something to them. Soon after, the officers turned and looked at me. Here's the situation. There are no surveillance cameras nearby, and the scene has already been disturbed. There are no witnesses or evidence. But one thing is clear. You did leave a scratch on his car. So let me mediate this. Just pay this gentleman 10,000 yuan, and we'll call it settled. I stared in shock. Why should I pay when I was the one who got hit? Is there no justice anymore? Li Shuji looked smugly at my frustrated face. What did I tell you? If you don't pay up, you'll suffer the consequences. At this point, I seriously suspected that this fat guy was in cahoots with the traffic cops. Otherwise, how could something so unfair happen? I gripped the bike handles tightly. I don't have money to pay. What do you mean you don't have money? Just because you're poor, you're right? Li Shuji mocked, while the fat man sneered. Then he turned to the officers. Did you hear that, officers? This kind of shameless student should be detained. No money to pay? Fine. Have his parents bring the money to bail him out. One of the officers stepped forward. Sorry, but you'll need to come with us. Let's go through the proper procedures. No way am I really going to be put in detention. Please no. I've never gone through anything like this. It's like swallowing bitterness in silence. I can't even express how unfair this is. My heart suddenly tightened. What should I do? What do I do now? No, I don't want to go. Sorry. I'm afraid that's not up to you. Li Shuji looked on gleefully. Actually, in this situation, he could have pleaded with his dad. If he did that, his father definitely wouldn't pursue the matter. But earlier at lunch, I arrogantly turned down his request. A request that would have been so easy to fulfill, yet I still refused to help. So, Lin Haoyu, don't blame me, you were the one who was cold first. Li Shuji raised his eyebrows at me. I'll go sit in the car now. Good luck, Lin Haoyu. With that, he turned and got into the car. The fat man was growing impatient. What are you still standing there for? Either we settle this privately, you pay me, or you go with the police officers, your choice. As soon as he finished speaking, the traffic police stepped forward, looking like they were about to take me away. You don't look that old. Just come with us, and we'll contact your guardian to sort this out. At that moment, a familiar voice came from behind. Let him go. The voice was one I could hardly believe. I turned my head. A tall girl stood there. Her presence was commanding. Her stunning face was framed by the setting sun, glowing faintly with golden light. Her whole being radiated one word: nobility. The 2 officers looked her up and down. Who are you? The girl curled her lips slightly, smiling coldly. My name is Luo Qingli, she said clearly. Then she strode forward with long legs, pulled me behind her with one hand, and shot a cold glance at the others. He's with me. If you want to take him, you'll have to ask my permission first. The fat man looked stunned. Luo Qingli. Why does that name sound so familiar? The 2 traffic cops looked at each other and suddenly burst out laughing. Luo Qingli. We've never even heard of that name. Let me tell you, we handle things impartially. We don't take anyone's opinion into account. Got it? If you're smart, step aside. Otherwise, don't blame us for taking you to the station too. Then you'll be the one crying. Luo Qingli's expression instantly turned ice cold. Standing behind her, I couldn't help but chuckle. Sorry. I really couldn't hold it in. Luo Qingli actually got looked down on. How rare. Normally, the name Luo Qingli alone represents power and status. She's above everyone. Hardly anyone would dare ask who she is. These two rookie cops were pretty bold. One of them even dared to say again, "You hear me? If there's nothing else, please get out of the way." Luo Qingli's gaze turned dangerously cold as she asked, "Who's the chief of your station?" From the girl's presence, it felt like she could freeze everything around her with a single glare. For a second, the rookie officer actually faltered. He stammered, "Director Wang Qinan." "So what?" "Call him." Before the last word had even left her mouth, the officer was already stunned by Luo Qingli's intimidating gaze. He fumbled for his phone, and once the call connected, he bowed repeatedly. "Director Wang. This is Zhao Meng. There's been a traffic incident in Yongle Alley." The other party insists before he could finish. The phone was snatched out of his hand by Luo Qingli. "It's me, Luo Qingli. Two of your officers are insisting on taking my person away, and even threatened to take me to the station with him." "You deal with it yourself," she finished coldly, no expression on her face, and tossed the phone aside. The young officer hurriedly caught the phone with both hands. As he brought it back to his ear, the director's thunderous roar came through the line. "You fools! You dared mess with Miss Luo. Do you not want me to stay in this position anymore? Are you trying to get me fired? Apologize. Apologize immediately. If Miss Luo and her people don't let this go, you're going to be in serious trouble." The two young officers were completely dumbfounded. After hanging up, their attitude toward Luo Qingli made a complete 360-degree turnaround. I curled my lips slightly. What a realistic society we live in. The fat man beside us suddenly slapped his forehead. He remembered. She's the famous Miss Luo from the prestigious Luo family. The young officer grinned sheepishly. "Please, Miss Luo, don't hold it against us. Actually, this is just a simple traffic incident. Nothing serious. It's just that this gentleman's car was scratched by the young man behind you. A small scrape. The other party is requesting 10,000 yuan in compensation." Luo Qingli smirked slightly. 10,000 yuan? Her cold gaze swept toward the Audi, looking at the car. Once the fat man realized her identity, he immediately backed down. But Luo Qingli coldly uttered just two words. "All right." Then she pulled out her phone and made a call to her driver not far away. In under 5 minutes, a well-dressed driver approached gracefully. "Miss said." The driver handed the fat man a check. "This is your compensation. Please accept it." The fat man looked at the check. It was actually for 200,000 yuan. "What's going on? Miss, what should we do next?" Luo Qingli said coldly. "Smash his car." My jaw practically dropped. Holy crap, this woman is crazy. He's completely insane. Even if you're rich, there's no need to be so willful. Luo Qingli seemed completely uninterested in the situation. He held my hand and walked away. I followed him. I heard the sound of a car being smashed behind us, and the person originally sitting in the passenger seat, wearing headphones and watching a drama, screaming as he was forcibly dragged out. Li Shuji. The Audi was practically smashed flat. The fat man was completely dumbfounded. 200,000 isn't a small amount, but it's not a fortune either. It's not enough to buy a new car or fix it completely. And the current car, there's no way it could be restored to how it was. The fat guy was trying to blackmail me. But in the end, he lost everything and got nothing in return. How did this happen? Luo Qingli and I walked side by side. I finally couldn't help asking, "Luo Qingli, are you some kind of nouveau rich? That was 200,000. He smashed someone's car just to vent." Luo Qingli looked straight ahead, his stunning face showing little expression. "Have you ever seen a nouveau rich as good-looking as me? So full of himself. But to be fair, Luo Qingli does have the looks to back that up. This guy is flawless from every angle. No matter how you look, he's just dazzling." I couldn't help sneaking a few glances. Wait, wasn't I still in a fight with Luo Qingli? Weren't we having a cold war? Why are you here? Luo Linger couldn't get through to you at all. She begged me to check if you were alive or dead. Luo Kingsley looked like he only came because Luo insisted. I nodded slightly. I'll call Luo back later. Thanks for earlier. I'm home now. Thanks again. Goodbye. I turned to leave after saying that. Lin Haoyu. Luo Kingsley suddenly grabbed my arm.